Hey everyone, welcome back to my Project 13. We got the Nexus 6 2014 and the Moto X Pure Edition 2015. Both devices I've now had for over a month, and I want to give you my experiences as far as having them as my daily drivers. I've been exchanging them in and out, doing chores, going to work, making phone calls, a lot of messaging in and out, and overall the experience as far as that with my carrier, T-Mobile 4G LTE here in Portland, Oregon, I have had no issues whatsoever sending out messages, getting messages, whether they're pics or videos, and phone calls going in and out have been wonderful. If you do have some issues, make sure you contact your carrier, check your APNs, make sure all that is correct. If you don't know anything about that, talk to your carrier or Google, because sometimes the APNs are set up differently, especially with unlocked devices. My wife recently got the Zenfone 2 and she wasn't getting picture messaging. So I had to go in and check in the APNs and make sure all the numbers were set up correctly. I used these two devices. I went into these devices, checked out the APNs, and set her device up accordingly to these two. And now the Zenfone 2 has no issues receiving any messages whatsoever. So make sure you check that out if you're having issues with your unlocked or international devices. That being said, see, I'm going off track again. Displays on these devices, AMOLED, IPS TFT. I'm not a fan of the IPS TFT LCD. It's a backlit screen. Not a fan of that at all, but they are both Quad HD. They did well with optimizing the Quad HD on this display. So it is vivid, it is crisp, it is sharp, and it is a beautiful watch. So kudos to Motorola and how they did that, because again, I wish it was a different display, but I'm fine with what they did. Not a deal breaker. The AMOLED display on this, beautiful, very beautiful. I love it. Can't go wrong with it. If I had to choose one or the other, I would go with the AMOLED. The colors on this AMOLED tend to be a little warmer, a little cooler on the IPS TFT LCD. But overall experience on both of them and watching movies and videos have been great. So I am going to go with this one, by a couple hairs. Some of you may disagree with me, but you're not going to go wrong either way. You're going to love your experience on these devices, these large, beautiful phablets, when it comes to watching videos or movies. Speakers, front-facing speakers on both these devices, both great quality of sound, both great level of sound. What I mean by that is loudness. Quality, you get more of a stereo surround on the Nexus 6 than you do on the Moto X. That's just my overall opinion. Some of you, again, may disagree. So if I had to pick one over the other as far as this front-facing speaker experience, I'm going to take the Nexus 6. I can tell some of you are looking at me like, what? Yeah, the Nexus 6. Still great on the Moto X. Again, not deal breakers, you guys, not whatsoever. You're going to be happy either way. I'm just a very picky guy in how I choose my devices. As far as camera, the Moto X definitely wins hands down. The 4K shooter on here is just phenomenal. The front-facing video shooter is just phenomenal. I do a lot of my videos with this Moto X. I set it down, faces towards me, I start shooting the video, and a lot of you ask me, what are you using to make this video? And I tell you it's the Moto, and you guys are like, what? Yeah, man, the Moto X here is just phenomenal when it comes to shooting front-facing video. And the 4K is just the depth in the videos are just phenomenal. So yeah, depth of field is just, it's like 3D. This is a good video shooter. This is a good camera. It's not great. It's okay. It's good. It's not a deal breaker. It really isn't. I've seen far worse. But you have to give it to the Moto X. You really do. Motorola did their job on this device as far as with the first gen and the second gen. The third gen makes up for those first two gens, okay? So we've gone over camera, Moto X. We've gone over display by a hair, the Nexus 6. We've gone over this front-facing speakers by a couple hairs, the Nexus 6. As far as size, I'm a phablet guy. I like them huge. I like a big device. I don't mind the 5.7 or a 5.5. I love the 6-inch device. Even if I have to struggle with it in hand, I could care less. This is a winner for me. As far as what's under the hood, you got an 808, you got an 805. Both Qualcomm Snapdragon processors. You got a hexa-core, a quad-core. Which one's faster? Which one's more powerful? To tell you the truth, I can't tell the difference. I'm not a gamer, so I might be able to tell the difference if I was a gamer and playing some really intense, difficult games, but I don't. Angry Birds is about as far as I go. A couple racing games, simple games, but I'm not a gamer, so I would suggest that you check out some other videos out there. And if that's something that you're into, as far as performance, which device is going to lag or stutter during gaming. But I don't typically cover those areas because I'm just not a gamer. So yeah, I would check something else out there. There's a lot of reviewers out there covering those areas. So just a suggestion. But performance-wise, they're pretty even for me. I mean, depending on what you're opening, one may be faster than the other. But again, if you're waiting just a millisecond, have some patience. It's a millisecond. For me, both of them, performance-wise and everyday use as daily drivers, have been wonderful. I've had no issues. Both fast, no lag, no stutter, just wonderfully made under the hood as far as performance and the processors that these devices have. Can't go wrong. At $349, $399, at the end of the day, you're going to have to just, with all the reviews out there and basically what I'm giving you as far as what I've experienced in over a month, just a little over a month, it's so close. It really is. You really can't go wrong. And again, I'm a very, very picky user. I'm a moderate to heavy user. And if I had to choose one at the end of the day, I'm going with the Nexus 6. I would probably sell this. I'm hoping I don't have to. But I would keep the Nexus 6. Even when it comes to battery life, I'm getting 3.5 to 4 hours a little bit easier than I am getting on the Moto X. The Moto X, 3 hours and 15 minutes to 3.5, 3 hours, 45 minutes. Struggling to get to 4 hours. I don't have to struggle to get to 4 hours on this one from moderate to heavy user. If I was a light to moderate user, you're going to get longer on both these devices. They both come with fast charge, okay? So if you have to, give it some juice, the first 15, 20 minutes is going to give you adequate juice in both these devices really quickly. It slows down once you get to about the half hour to an hour point. It takes an hour and a half to basically charge both these devices on fast charge. But again, the first 15, 20 minutes is going to give you adequate juice to pump these puppies up to finish out the day. But I'm getting better battery life from the Nexus 6 than I am the Moto X. And I think that's why at the end of the day, I'm choosing the Nexus 6 over the Moto X. Because, yeah, I think battery life is very important for all of us. And that has to be an area we really have to think hard about if if that is what you're basing on having a device, as far as what device you want to bring in. The Nexus 6 is better. It's not great, but it is better than the Moto X. But I'm still not going to give up this device if I don't have to, just because of that. I can live with it. I will use my fast charge. I will utilize the way I use each device in a way that I will make it last for a day. I have a car charger, which if it's running down, I will plug it in and get some juice and I'll finish out my day. So I've covered display, front-facing speakers. I've covered overall performance. I've covered battery life. The body build, the quality build, great in hand, great in pocket. Yes, big devices, but I'm okay with that. They're great. Firm, strong, sexy. Motorola handcrafted these devices beautifully, and you can't go wrong either way. So hopefully not point on point with these devices in this video, but as I've mumble-jumbled some of this information during this time, hopefully you've gotten some of the answers you needed. I've had a fun time using these devices, and I'm going to have a great time comparing them to the new Nexus devices. Hopefully if I bring in the 5X as well, but for sure the P6. So, more videos to come as far as that. It's not the last that you've seen of these devices. If you like this video, give me a thumbs up. If you didn't like it, give me a thumbs down. Let me know why. Keep subscribing. Keep watching. God bless as always. I'm out. Peace.